Supreme. Already know the vibes. NAGA The Wise. It's early, but it's hot today. It's cooking early. I might put some shade right there. So hold on. Just a little bit of shade. A little bit of shade. I think that'll work for a minute. Yeah, I think that did. Yeah, that works right there. A little shade. You already know the vibes. NAGA The Wise. Supreme. Rising, yo. Supreme. Rising. You see the title. Just want to build with y'all real quick. Little light build. And I got the nutrients, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all been hearing me talk about, you know what I'm saying, the science to the health and all that. But yeah, I got a lot of things that I didn't want to say. On here, I got it together already in the bottle, right? So, I'm going to get a pack of 3. Well, a larger bottle and 2 smaller bottles for a specific price. I didn't put the labels and logos on it yet, but if y'all interested in health, right, you're interested in optimizing the balance of your health, hit me up. We can do like a conversation. We can tap into, what it is that, how your body works or what you're looking for. And then I could tell you if what I have is for you. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you if that's a benefit for you or whatever. Hold on, this camera kind of ashy, yo. Make it better? Yeah, it makes it better. So yeah, like if you want to have like a sit down consultation about the medicine or whatever, I could tell you where it'll benefit you and if it's for you or whatever, and then we can go about, getting you a regimen. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or sign you up for a plan. I got I got things in the workings right now, you know what I'm saying? I got other things about to pop out real soon. But I gotta go get them made, so stay tuned for those. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm still working on my book. I might have to start it over from the beginning, but I'm still working on it because I got to get it broken in chapters. So I'll have that soon too. Um, I just ain't focusing on it right now. I know I'm going to get it done. I'm just not putting the energy I need to because when I work, y'all, I like to be in a situation to where I'm unbothered, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't like nothing hanging over me, nothing doing nothing and all of that. So a lot of shit that I'm trying to do right now, I'm being patient so I can do it. You feel me? Um, yeah, that's just the things about me. So if you're interested in consultations, you know what I'm saying, you want to get on the list as far as being a new client for the up and coming this next term and then the following year, you can sign up. Um, yeah, over this, well, in the summertime, normally clients do what they do or whatever. We separate, so that gives me an opportunity to add more clients to the regimen. So um, if you think you want to have a personal guide and get introspection for you individually, reach out. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you're going to learn specifically for yourself in a full totality listening to collective messages and stuff like that. So sometimes you have to put that meditation focus. And I'm just saying it that way because you have to be able to balance yourself out. And then let divine lead you. And then once that leading starts taking place, you jump back on your path, and while you're on that path, you continue. So it doesn't show up until you can get to that point. So most of the time people are looking for knowledge, they're never gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna hit them in their face. It's because you gotta be formulated to actually absorb that particular type of knowledge. And for the most part, who wants to be wrong, right? Nobody wants to say I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to look as if they're right. Well, the only thing that's right is in the mind of divine. And divine has what's right for you. So until you stand in that right, then you will never be right. And that's the problem. A lot of times the the energy will go inside an individual and speak through them. You know what I'm saying? And when they're thinking that they're speaking in their benefit, it's really divine putting it where it's supposed to be. So you don't get a chance to know. Like as much as people think they are on top of their mentality, when you're aligned with divine, you can see that you're not even controlled by yourself. You can see it. You can see when the adversary takes over, and you can see when the divine steps in. You know what I'm saying? And once you get that understanding, it's going to give you a different attribute as far as rising. You know what I'm saying? You're going to gain that notion of reality. And that notion in itself is going to strengthen you, and it's going to give you more. It's going to give you more of what, it's going to give you what you want to call fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? It's going to give you what you want to call fulfillment, um not what you believe it's to be. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, no, not a lot of times, all the time, we believe that we're going to make the shit happen the way we want it to. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even a reality. But my face oily. I just got the shower. I'm gonna put that shout out to the Botanic King, homie. Put that mango butter on. That mango butter got your boy glowing, right? Mango butter got me glowing and shit. But yeah, so um yeah, just understanding, man. The lesson be hard, and not for nothing. When there is a lack of understanding, that's because it's not for them to understand. Like, you know what I mean? You can't force a demon to learn nothing, but a demon will be sitting there like, I don't know. That's the fucking personal problem. It's so simple. Divine is always going to be simplicity. Divine is always going to be simplicity. It's never going to be a confusion. And if you're confused, back in the day, yo, I used to be like that in my head. Yo, I'd be like, no, they're my friends. They're nice people. They don't mean bad. They're good people and stuff like that. And you would say this stuff and you would think, right? You would think that you know what you're talking about just because you like something. I've been there. And then something, you have to get it forced out of your hands because you just won't let the shit go. You know what I'm saying? So that's what divine will do. Divine will literally make what you won't let go say something stupid. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be like, oh, that's that truth right there. Yeah, because I need you to get the fuck away from it. Because it ain't doing you no justice. It's not serving you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what those contingencies fall to. Evil is always going to fight to hold its place. It's going to throw a temper tantrum. It's going to do everything but be right. You know what I'm saying? And you know what you're going to do? Oh, my goodness, this must be the time. No, that's never going to be it. Majority of the time, and it's sad, you know, divine knows that the individuals are going to suffer by their own choices. But then everybody wants to have a salvational aspect. You want to find, you know, you want to be saved and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is divine going to save you if you just want to be hard-headed, right? Like, that shit don't make no sense. You constantly want to be hard-headed, but you want shit to work out right. And it's like, well, just can it get away from me so I can just do? No, it can't. It can't, because divine ain't going to let you suffer somebody else because you want to. That shit corny as hell, yo. I ain't making this shit up. It is what it is. Look, the energy I give it up on is on a low level. It's in the hood. Because a lot of people can't confuse spirituality or can't comprehend spirituality on a higher level. So there's regiments, there's different ones. I don't know if you ever seen The Lord of the Rings when the Hobbit asked Gandalf, he was like, so is it other wizards? And he was like, what do they do? Are they strong, powerful wizards, or are they weak like you? And he was like, no, they're all powerful. There's different ones. There's one of the woods. There's one of the mountains. There's one of the seas. What that was expressing is there's different values to rise in and different comprehensions. Just like you got first, second, and third grade teachers, it's the same way for people. It's the same way for people. But unfortunately, people will be a certain age and not have the skills of what you want to call comprehension. Or they can see something right in front of their face, and because they don't comprehend what's in front of them, they back away from it. Well, divine sees fit to lay messages, and sometimes the messages that are happening shows the incapability of what you're unable to see, and that shows what you are not and opposite of. That's how that works. But you have to be able to see that in the contingency. You see what I'm saying? You got to be able to say, damn, yo, that's why that happened. Because what they're saying is not for them. It's not even in it. So it came out like that. You're not supposed to say, see, I saw that. You're supposed to be like, I bet. You got that. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you move, because now you have the actual proof sitting in your hand. You don't have to go make a big poster and say, oh, this what happened. Nah, pay attention. Because divine don't never miss, yo. Divine don't never miss. It's like a sharpshooter. I promise it's like a sharpshooter, and you'll fuck around and get a proof out of your own damn mouth. You know what I'm saying? So all praises to the Most High all the time. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Divine is the purity of what we're looking for and what we're lacking. Divine is every reason of what you want to solidify in every emotion. You just don't know it. And when you look at it, the power is so magnanimous, large and forgiving that you just can't comprehend what the possibilities are. If your imagination only goes to a certain level, you couldn't imagine the highest aspect of service to yourself because you've never been treated in the highest aspect of nothing. So when you start to think about what can be the best level of salvation, your brain falls short. Automatically, it's like, I'm good with a sandwich. Or just give me a soda. Nah, what if Divine said, I want you to have the whole winery? What if Divine said, I want you to have every single winery known to man? Like, this is a scale in difference. Where Divine will give you abundance through the entirety, you will accept nothing and think that you're fine with that. Well, I'll wait for the Divine. I ain't trying to hold you. I'll wait for the Divine. You know what I'm saying? But this is how the knowledge balances out. Whoever came in here later, whatever Supreme Rising I said in the beginning, I got the nutrients popping now. I just don't got the logos for them or whatever, the labels, but I do got the nutrients on. I got the soil to the soul nutrients on the way. You know what I'm saying? And I got the monatomic living gold and copper. That's going to bring your health back all the way. So whenever you're ready for that, reach out. You know what I'm saying? And I got more open spaces for my consultation. So if you're ready to get a placement, holla at your boy so I can put you in. You heard? Yeah, segue. But yeah, and I got clothing line coming and books still coming and all that. But you know, we in slow motion. I ain't want to talk about it till it's finished already. But so on top of that, just understand, like, absolute is what it is. There's never going to be a person with absolute understanding. It has to be based off being guided out. So the Divine is watching everything, but when the initial takes place and you're saying, all right, I am ready for a change, whatever that means, and that sincerity being the key, unlocks that door. What happens is Divine lets those energies flow in both directions. Now the energy that comes out is two absolute directions, or two absolute energies that serve a purpose. What are these purposes it serves? When one releases to uplift because of what you've been putting out on the scale. Whatever you've been putting out opposite of that notion is going to release those energies too. So what does this do? It separates something from something. If you're a divine energy and this is pulling you, that energy is going to be the force that moves you like a tidal wave. And you're not going to have no say-so against it. Your mind is actually going to want to go with it. How powerful Divine is. Divine will make what's going against you agree with the separation. That's how powerful Divine is. Next level shit. Supreme Rising. That's how powerful Divine is. That's how powerful Divine is. And it's scary sometimes to people because they'll be like, wait a minute, that just happened? Yeah, because you wasn't ever going to do it right the first place. You wasn't going to fix it. You wasn't going to stand up and say, yo, let me make this right. Let me show up. You wasn't going to do that. So Divine had to come in and move some shit out your way. For real, that's how it happens. Divine will come in and just move it out your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you a girl and you dating a guy and the guy is an asshole. You want it to work, but it's not working for you. You say, Divine, why it just don't work? I think he's nice. I want it to go further, but da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, it just ends. Now, you might cry for a day or two, but then you feel better after. Why? Because Divine seen fit for that person not to serve your purpose. That's why it left like that. And he probably agreed to it. Like, nah, I'm about to go smash another chick. But that's because what he had inside of him wouldn't have gave you no benefit. So Divine seen fit to use his own energy to negate him in another direction. That's how that shit work. Same thing with a shorty. You be sitting there thinking you know, oh, I'm about to, and then, you know what I'm saying, she not really for you like that. You know, she not really for you like that. So you a good dude. Your man end up taking her from you that same night. You be like, damn, yo, that shit. And then you catch yourself. Be like, nah, I ain't gonna even stress it. They want to clown about it. Divine just saved your ass. You looking at it like you lost something. No, Divine took it because it's not for you. It took it, and look at how it happened. If in that situation it was able to happen, why would you be upset? Be like, damn, you was able to do that? I'm glad I got rid of that shit because that wasn't going to stay with me anyway. That's how you're supposed to give it up. The conscious recollection to circumstances falls on the value of what you want to procure. What does that mean? You only mad because you wanted something out of it. So tighten up. If it showed you it wasn't that way, what you mad for? You're supposed to automatically switch your feelings and say, wait a minute, that wasn't going to serve me anyway. Shit, I ain't mad. That's a good loss. That's a good loss. Sometimes losing is great if you don't see that it can hurt you. Sometimes losing is great when you can't see that it can hurt you. You heard? Big facts. Sometimes losing is great when you can't see that it can hurt you. And that be the real spill, but ain't nobody gonna sit there and take it. You got your conscience on your chest and all that. I ain't losing. Man, shut up. That shit don't even mean nothing. Go where you loved and stay there. Cherish what loves you and stay there. If you don't appreciate what God gave you to love you, divine will remove it. Facts. That's how life works. You know what I'm saying? It's never going to change from those type of dynamics. That's how existence is. That's how existence is. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, people want to act as if they have some form of power because you can manipulate lesser levels of minds to do what you want. There's not a such thing as you making people serve you. Divine is service for you. That's serve you. Divine, not people. And if you don't have access to divine and you force people to control, that shows your lack of divinity. You see how I did that? People are not to be, children of divine are not to be put in bondage when divine has already liberated the thought and the creation. So when other people don't acknowledge value and fall in line with the absolute of the natural order of things, that shows you the lack of divinity in them. That's how that works. That's how that works. So to comprehend whatever notion, you have to be one within self. That's all the time. That's all the time within everything. You being one self. You wake up, you give it up to the divine. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how deep this is for me, though. Because I pick up on everything. Like, I pick up on every single feeling. Some people be so mad that I speak truth. They sit behind the screen and pray that I skip. That I mess up. I hope it. It was fucking stupid. I don't care about none of that shit. I ain't even, look, I give it all up to divine all the time. I don't even care about the personal things that people think no more. I used to worry about it when I was younger. I used to be like, yo, people gonna think stuff. People gonna try to act like I can do this and I can do that. I don't give a fuck what nobody think. I really don't. What I care about is the divine. Period. I'm always gonna care about that. Divine has instilled me with the understanding to see this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? They gave me an understanding to see this shit right here. So that's what individuals do. They'll be like, yo, I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go do that. This'll work. That'll work. Nothing works. What you do is you start building up a particular type of energy that comes off of you. And that energy that comes off of you becomes the value that's going to come back to you. I don't never look at none of that shit. I'm doing what I'm told to do. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm told to do. The difference is I don't get value from what divine asks me to do. That's my job title. The value comes out of me being obedient. That's the difference. You can be mad that I'm mopping the floor, but that's what I was told to do. So after I mop the floor, no matter who says, I don't want you mopping the fucking floor no more, I don't care about that. Divine told me to do that. So when my job is done, you know what I get from divine? Whatever comes with that. And it's always abundance. Divine always gives more than enough. So I like that energy. That energy feels great. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten used to it, and separating from that is not a possibility. Now, there's not a such thing as slowing down the work either. I can't be slowed down, especially not when divine charges me up. These things are not reality. A person doesn't have beef with one person. They have beef with what the person is capable of able to do, and that's because they won't do it. You know what I'm saying? Life starts to show you every single aspect of reality. People were just shot the fuck out, and that term was brought about. That term was brought about in a funny way. a funny way to a matter. But then you start seeing it in reality. Like people are really shot out of their self. Like whatever you were inside is literally gone. You know what I'm saying? Your innocence is gone and you base your decisions off of that. So because you base your decisions off of an empty spot, divine know that. You hollow as shit. You ain't moving nothing over here. You don't even have sustenance, no universal anything. So there's not an intention that I can accept or feel that's important enough for me to be like, let's have a conversation about this. Nah, that's not true. But what happens is it's a sadness, right? There's a sadness from lack of knowledge. And that lack of knowledge is going to bring masses of divine creations to its demise. That's what's gonna demise. Formulating in divine foundation. Whatever's growing in divine foundation right now, there's no detriment for that because it's been obedient. So the plan to try to slow that down is stupid. It actually puts a title on the individual trying to do that. You're already in the categorized. You're already placed in a category. Like I don't have to even sit there and do that because I'm doing my job. If I never get attention from a person about what I do, that's fine. That's fine because it's not the people that I'm doing this for. It's discipline. It's discipline. I can sit on this phone and drop a million jewels by my damn self and never have one person come and listen to a live stream or upload. You know what Divine gonna say? You did good, son. You did good, my boy. Keep going. Keep going. Because despite the negative or positive value of what you contain within the work you're supposed to do for divine, none of that matters. It's about being obedient. Period. I told you to make your bed. Well, so and so did. I don't care what so and so did. Did you make your bed? Did you do what I told you to do? See, that's the difference. Y'all want to make shit complicated when it's not that serious. Person sit there and look at you and be mad as shit. Be like, I'm about to do this. You ain't about to do shit but look stupid. That's what you about to do. Waste your damn time with your life. While I'm running around barefoot in your brain. Fast as shit. With no shoes on. With no shoes on. Run around fast as shit in your head. Can't catch me. I'm in your mind. Fast as shit running around in your head. You mad as shit. I'm going to make them do. You're not going to make nobody do anything because that energy in itself puts you in a position. And divine gives ordinances. So if we were in school and the same retrospect happened, you'd be in a disciplinary office. It doesn't change from no retrospect or reality. What changes is the fact of how you know how authority works. And the more you do negative things, you walk away from the divine guidance. So that allows you to do more stupid shit. Oh, it's a hard lesson to learn. It is. It's very hard. It's either you get washed by it or you're going to learn from it either way. But individuals who want that level of attention and need people to validate them, shit, they not in line with divine because you too busy trying to get somebody else to be happy with your life instead of you and the Most High. You see how this shit sounds stupid? Like, so how can I even sit there and be like, oh my God, that's what they doing to me? Shit sounds dumb. You know, like, it's just retarded, yo. Like, and that's how you be knowing. You be like, damn, yo, I see. I know why it's divine comedy. I see why this shit makes all the sense in the world. Because when you don't have the audience of the divine, you have to captivate what doesn't have access to it. So that's manipulation. Shit, I don't make this shit up. I just pay real good close attention. And that's all it is. I just pay real good close attention. And you be like, damn, yo, you know what? That was some slick shit right there. And then you'll watch a person get all in your damn face. Think about that for a moment. You like, word, here, right now, and then their attention is focused. That shit'll take you back to like second grade, yo. You be like, yo, this shit is retarded. So this is how violence got taken out of the category of understanding. Is because the disturbance of the mind was impeded on before the function of its completion of maturity and its physical growth. So when that took place, the actualities that's supposed to have formulated with the mind when you grow, they were nowhere in sight. So people started making decisions based off how they felt at a different time. It's almost like going to jail when you're young and coming out, and that's all you know. So you might have went for 10 years. You came out, and now you're like still the age you went in when, you know what I'm saying? So it's being institutionalized in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody's going to actually sit down and comprehend that. You're just going to feel indifferent to the change of society and then base your thought pattern off where you were left at. That's dangerous for a lot of individuals. Because you don't have to go to jail to be institutionalized. It happens within stupidity in life. When you don't change what you do, you institutionalize yourself. Literally. and then be embarrassed when you're around other people that rose mentally and they're laughing about normal shit, or can become camaraderie with each other in a different situation that's changed from a time of old. Then you're like, wow, I feel like I'm not a part. So you have to do something to catch that angle. Majority of the time, that was negative. That's why negativity became a part of entertainment. People like to see shit like that. Ooh, ah, oh. It catches the senses. But the catch 22 to that value is what you went home at the end of the night, or you turned the TV off. You didn't live that reality. It was just an experience. And the minds that can't know these things as indifferences, they saw power for the first time in movies and TVs. They heard it on songs. They seen people dress a certain way, and the way they was walking and moving, and made them feel like, you know what? If I can be like that too, I can be powerful to the people who are around me. These are followers. They're not fucking leading nothing. You know these people. Y'all see them your whole fucking life. And you still sit there and let the rash run over, and y'all all end up being followers and justifying fuckery. And then when the authority come around to adjust this value, you got all the fight in the world. That's not even logical. That's like an oxymoron. That's literally an oxymoron. You know what an oxymoron is? Two things that don't match, you try to force in one sentence. It doesn't go. It's not supposed to. So a lot of concepts of living is like that. People just don't think. You know what I'm saying? You don't see when you good, you don't cherish it, you don't respect it. And then when it's damaged, you cannot take accountability. Divine has to come all the way down because you're grown as hell and can't make a grown decision. Divine has to come in and do something because you will not change. We look at that as blessings. That's like the ultimate disrespect to your existence. You're saying you're incapable of doing adult shit. How do I know this? Because I wasn't given the right knowledge, and as a man, I made dumbass choices. I would have popped you in your face real quick. I would have opened up a piece of metal on you and wait for the police. I was a nut, yo. Flip out, straight, boom, 0 to 1,000. Fuck is you talking about? ASAP. All in your shit. Like, what is you talking about? I'm looking for family members. I was a shark when it came to anger. Yeah. And people who knew that. And some people would talk a lot of shit because they knew I was gonna go there. And I had to get out of that energy, yo, because everywhere I went, I was known like that. And then it kept being a test of value. Oh, I know he'll do this. I know he'll fight. We could just press this button. And da, 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 da. Divine's like, I got other plans for you, yo. It's a fact. Divine been guiding me my whole life. I just didn't understand what guidance was. Wasn't being taught that. Wasn't being told the right things. Wasn't being shown this is how you do this and this. No, if you did something wrong, you got hurt. That's how growing up was for me. You got hurt bad. So Divine was like, I see fit to teach you different. And that's when I started learning about life. Only when Divine took the wheel. I didn't learn about life until the Most High literally stepped in my life. Opposing to people showing me anything, I was getting washed, yo. I was getting washed, and I would have been lost and walked down a way longer, darker path that probably would have had a different outcome. But me being strong in myself, I question everything and I question people. The stories I tell about us being rough, them shits is real, but they wasn't in value of following. Those is me being rebellious. I rebelled against everything, even the hood. I didn't give a shit. We didn't care about nothing. We wasn't about to follow nobody. And if you thought you was bad, we was gonna beat you up. Like that's what it was. It was nobody gonna be bosses to us. Like we was kids about to control everything. That's how it was. In my mind, I'm like, fuck this shit. And the people who was rocking with me, they was also like, fuck that shit. We don't care. We ain't following nobody authority. And on top of that, at the time, the world looked at that as we were delinquents. But they couldn't see that they were opposing people. They couldn't see they were oppressing people. They just thought, well, it's okay. We can do what we want to people. The fuck? Not in this lifetime. We about to change all those laws. And if y'all don't change them, we gonna make you suffer by what you believe you think is real. That's how we was when we was young. We was wild as shit. I seen niggas from our hood knocking out the police every time he came to the block, thinking he was gonna do something. You knock the cop out, bam, and then run. No bullcrap. I would say this shit like 100 times. Like, and when you grow up looking at that shit, you be like, damn, yo, people want to hurt us until they get hurt. So you have more examples of people doing negative just to run into a wall. And when you start seeing that on a larger scale from a child to an adult, you know what you end up doing? Looking for the strongest force to oppose what oppresses you. You don't stay and start being like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. No, you get a good idea of how well these things coming in and how different angles they come from and all that. And then you say, I want the strongest force that'll never let nothing happen ever again. I'm tired of going through shit. Been going through shit since birth. By your own people, by other people who don't like you, people who don't want you to succeed. You see the whole thing. You see the hate, the envy. You see it all. Who the fuck want to keep looking at shit like that their whole damn life? Nobody. Who want to suffer somebody who don't got it right in their mind to have the right understanding about anything? Nobody. You're actually causing more problems. You stressing me the fuck out because you don't know how to connect to life. All your issues and fear and all that shit is built off the value of your lack of connection to divinity. And everybody else who's hunky-dory, happy-go-lucky, doing what they got to do, got to suffer you. They have to suffer you. Oh my God, another one. Sad all over again. Your feelings hurt and all this other shit. Well, go somewhere. Go out in the middle of the fucking West Bubbles. Go in the jungle. Sit by yourself for 30 days, 40 days, 6 months. I don't give a damn until you formulate yourself and come out of that bitch and be conducive for everybody else. Because we tired of the complaining, yo. We tired of the sad shit all the fucking time. Nobody cares at the end of the day. It was nobody there when people were suffering. So why the hell should I give a damn about people who won't do the right thing? Y'all like to throw that divine shit on both sides of the fence. No, it's only one path. Divine doesn't serve how people think about shit. Divine is the way. It's the way. You don't get to masculate divine's understanding in your own peculiarity. It's blasphemy. What you get is to be obedient. That's what you get. That's your gift. And if you're disciplined in that, you get more. Just like when you were a child, unless your parents ain't know how to raise you right. Look, I know it hurt. I don't care. Should have been raised right in the first place. Sometimes you got to be the parent that you never had. That's how it works. You can't keep blaming the past. You got to be the parent you didn't have. You got to be the person you never met. You got to be the energy you won't get. And you got to call on the divine so you can make sure these things that are lacking in your life formulate for you and go forward. That's what that looked like. I am one of the most loving people in the world, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't kiss nobody ass, yo. I won't do it. I don't give a damn what you have to offer, what you have to say, any of that shit. I'm with you, 100%. But when it starts getting in that position, all right, cool. I'm not about to say that. It is what it is. Everything that came with that can go with you. That's the cost of it. Everything that came with you in that sediment that went that indifferent can go with you. I'm not feeling. I'm actually trying to find out what else you left behind. What the fuck else you got around this motherfucker? So I ain't got to see your ass. I'm serious. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it as, oh, I'm heartbroken because you did me dirty. Heartbroken for what? You chose to make a decision. I'm never heartbroken by somebody who did something intentionally. That was your intention. So my heart is not broken. I can honestly say to myself, you know what? I made a wrong choice. Nana said, if you make a mistake, know that you can fix it. So I've never been in a situation to where I was saddened by the choice somebody made. I was more or less hurt because I didn't see that that's what they would do to myself. They would do that to me. You have the audacity to do that to me? Okay, cool. You don't give a fuck about me. I can slide cool now. I can slide with no issue. I can slide with no remorse. I can slide without looking back. I can go with no problem because I did everything I was supposed to do. But I didn't see you clearly. I had to wait to understand the choice that I made. And once I seen that choice clearly, I can now X that choice on the box or take it off. Either or. I am in control of my destiny. What hurts worse is when you made a decision in belief and that decision lets you down by what you believe in it. That's what hurts a person. I believed in you. I believed in you. You let me down by what you did. I didn't know you would do that when we had this understanding. Okay, I get it now. What do I have to hear? I'm sorry. You wasn't sorry when you did it. That's why it's so easy for me to let go. I'm serious. Like that's how I look at shit. If there's no contingency to real remorse and a value, why do I need to listen to you? When you was doing what you was doing, you wasn't like this gonna make my person feel bad. Yeah, my man gonna be mad if he find out I'm cheating right now. It don't work like that, yo. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it goes. But the only thing that feels bad is the fact that you got caught or that you're being addressed for your negativity. It's never bad when you're enjoying fucking around, or when you enjoy lying, or you enjoy stealing. It's never bad then. It's only when you get caught that you want remorse. Man, I don't be following none of that bullshit. I be like, let them suffer. Fuck out of here. You didn't care when you was doing this. Why should I care now? You want remorse? Go pray. Divine got it all for you. That's what you get. Divine tells me I can move away from things that don't serve my life. That's what divine tells me. If it's not for my life, I can slide. So that's my benefit. For me personally, if you rock with me and you always been there, you still my people today. But I tell you what, it's probably one or two homeboys and they float around living their life that I still connect with. And they're not from the beginning. They're like from midway through my life. You know what I'm saying? They're not from the beginning. I don't talk to nobody from the beginning no more. You know what I'm saying? So this how I see life and change. This is not a detriment. This is a contribution to your life. So you contribute your time and your mentality to stages. And after you grow past that stage, you continue growing. So certain things at different stages was there. After you get past the stage and you graduate, those things may be left behind. You know why? Because they got a life of their own. So I don't be mad when I see people do dirt or they crazy or whatever. That doesn't mean you get an opportunity to get over me. That means I've learned what's not for me. Why would I suffer something that's not for me? This is not a world of, oh, that person's stupid, I get over. You have some people that live like that, but their intelligence level is like this fucking big. So that's why they're satisfied with shitting on people. Yeah, their intelligence level is like the size of a fucking pea. So the best thing they got is, I did this, I did that to a person. So fucking what? Though? You're a loser. If you got to get your balls and your titties perked up off shitting on people, you're a fucking loser. Because that means you can't create nothing, you can't think for yourself, and you can't formulate nothing, especially out of the gifts divine gave you. So how does that give you props in any way? You're just a grown ass bully. That shows your level of comprehension. Your brain the size of a fucking pea. And then the ones that are laughing and enduring in that, yeah, they are too. Because whenever those energies change, you'll be the first one to be like, don't do that. Don't talk about my people. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, that should be so funny to me. I be like, yo, people are hypocritical. But that's the imperfection that we live. These insurrections I'm talking about are the imperfections of being in flesh. This is why you don't use them as your character. This is why you don't be like, yeah, I'm gangster, I'm this. No, those are imperfections. You're a good person in your soul. Your soul is good. That's the point. But when you keep running from what divine made you to be, what does that say about you? I ain't trying to hold you, man. Just trying to show you something. If ain't nobody tell you today, Naga love you. You heard? Naga the Wise.